7 p.m. table. Welcome, welcome, wherever you're coming in from, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the 7 p.m. table. Um, Remember, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whatever day you've had, let's just relax. Just come into the room, find your seat, bring your seat, find your space, have your drink, whatever it is you brought to the table, bring it in, bring it in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come in. Um, and just know that however you're feeling, you're not the only one. There'll be others feeling very similar to you, and we're all making it up, we're all winging it. And even the first time that a brain surgeon worked on the first brain, even though he or she was trained and has done all the work they needed to do, they still had to have belief and trust. They had to believe and they had to trust in everything they'd learned and have the confidence to go forth and work on said brain. So, unless you're a brain surgeon, I think you can also adapt the same and recognize that whatever you've done today, you've done to the best of your ability, and what has gone, and what will come will come. So just come into the room, just connect your head to your body, just breathe, let those shoulders rest, and just be here at the table. 25 minutes, 30 minutes max. You've got that time. And if you think to yourself you don't have that time, then you need it even more. Um, to just come in, say hello. If you want to say hello, if you want to chat, if you want to add a comment, if you want to say that you've watched this, whether you've watched it live or you've watched it on replay, just come in and say hello. Um, I am, do you know what? I'm going to get more and more vulnerable on this because why not? And I'm feeling really flat. It probably shows, and you can probably hear it, you can probably see it. Um, Today has been a challenging day. I'm not feeling tip top. I'm not feeling full of energy. Even my hair is feeling flat. um, but I'm showing up, and that's the key thing. We keep showing up because we can, and we will, and we're needed, and we're loved, and we're supported. And tomorrow is another day, and everything will pass. Everything that you're going through, everything that we're going through will pass. The ups, the downs, the rounds, the backs, the forwards, the whirlies, the whole shebang. It will all pass. Um, and something that I've been looking at today and something I've been considering for myself is belief. So many of us, so many women, so many men, so many humans hold themselves back because of a lack of belief. The amount of people I've spoken to that when they really get into the moment, they really get into the flow of what they really want to be doing and how they really want to be showing up, or a business they want to start, or a job they want to go for, or a conversation they want to have, or an idea they want to put forward. Do you know, more and more and more, it's just the belief in themselves that sits below it, that sits below all the rubbish. I don't have time. I don't have the money. Um, there's loads of excuses that sit on the top. It's like layers. And actually, what it comes down to at the bottom, what it really sits on for most people, and most people don't even talk about it because they're chunked up with so many layers that they don't get deep enough to actually see what the real challenge is, or friction, as I would call it, or the deep rooted challenge that's going on. That's why you work with a coach. That's why you hold space for somebody. That's why you ask key questions. That's why you just let somebody speak without judgment, without bias. It's such a powerful thing just to be able to just be in a space and be able to speak freely and to be able to explore thoughts and actually be able to question things, question yourself, without somebody like brushing it away or giving you their opinion or it getting noisy. And what really does sit below all these layers of don't have the money, I don't have the time. Who do I think I am to be doing that? I've got the kids, I've got my job, I've got, I don't know, it's raining. Um, Assumptions and procrastination and avoidance and all these things, when you really get below the surface, when you really pull all those things away and you hold space for those things, more often than not, it's belief. I don't believe that I can do it. I don't believe that it's possible, or I don't believe that I'm good enough, or I don't believe that they want me, or I don't believe that I'm the sort of person to do that. What is that built on? There's no truth. There's no truth to that at all, because the reality is you haven't asked, or you haven't taken the action, or you haven't stepped in, or you haven't tried it, or you haven't done it. And even if you are considering that you have, what do I always say? You have never been who you are today. You have never been who you are right now, with the learnings, the lessons, the experiences, resilience, the ups, the downs, the falling on your backside, the sitting in the mud, the dancing in the puddles. You've never been who you are today. So whatever happened in the past is not what's going forward. It's not what's in the future. It's not what is the other side of you actually taking the action or speaking up or doing the thing. So there's very little truth in your belief. So I would question you, and I would ask you to consider, if I'm not doing the thing that I want to be doing or saying the thing that I want to say, what's the belief level? What's really sitting below that? What's sitting at the root of that? What's stopping me really? Write it out, question it, be curious with it, and consider how truthful is it? Like, is it reality? Is it the truth? Because it's likely not to be. And it got me thinking, um, I had my I had my daughter at 17. I found out I was pregnant at 5 months, and as far as I was concerned, I was having her. And before you ask, there was nothing of me. I was a runner. I was an athlete. I was an athlete. I used to do a lot of cross country running, a lot of long distance running. There was nothing. I had no boobs. I had no hips. There was nothing of me. I was like a beanpole. I was like a golf club. Because I have big feet as well. I still do have big feet, but I love my feet. Um, and so yeah, at 5 months, I found out that I was pregnant, and as far as I was concerned, I was having her. That was it. And what was really interesting, if I look back now and I consider where my belief levels were, well, quite frankly, when I was told that she might not survive the night, when we ended up going to Great Ormond Street because she needed a very big life-saving operation, when I was in Great Ormond Street in London um, for the first few weeks of her life on my own, it's quite a daunting thing. My belief did not waver in making sure that I did everything I possibly could for her, protecting her, everything I could do. My belief didn't waver. It was there. It was in full force. It was that the thing, I think some people call it like the mama bear effect. And when we came out of hospital and she was doing really well, I was focused. I started learning. I took night classes. I even ended up sitting in a flipping shed sewing cushions at the age of 18 with a baby, just getting by, just keeping going, just keeping her safe, keeping me safe, keeping a roof over her head, I was a single mum. Um, my belief did not waver in making sure that she was safe and keeping everything aligned and keeping us safe. And even the night school I went to, I just kept, how could I better myself? How could I make, how can I make sure that I looked after her? How could I make sure that we could make this work? My belief did not waver because I had her and I had to make sure that she was okay. Um, then when she was 3 or 4, she was getting ready for school. So I realised that I'd have a bit of time, and if I had a bit of time, then I could find a job. So I could go and work somewhere, not like sewing cushions. And I applied for a job through an agency, and the agency put me forward to a car body shop, and the car body shop rejected me because I didn't have enough experience. And so this fire was lit inside of me. Um, Again, remember, I have a baby that I need to look after. I'm a young person. I'm on my own. I'm almost in, well, no, there isn't any almost. I'm in survival. I'm in scarcity. I am in pure survival. And I got rejected. And I thought, I'm not having this. I'm not having this. No way. No, how could they reject me? That's ridiculous. I don't have experience. Okay, fair comment. How about you give me some experience? And I had a real bee in my bonnet. And so anyway, I don't even know how. I remember being like a private detective, and I found the body shop, the car body shop in Southall in Greater London, and I contacted them directly, and I sent my CV through, and I got myself in front of them. I got myself an interview, and I sat in front of them. And at that point, now I am 21, 20, 21. And at this point, the only thing I'd ever done before that was sewing cushions, was working behind a bar, was working in like a spa, like a local shop, um, working at a golf club, doing cleaning and in the restaurant, and all those bits and pieces. That's all I'd ever done, all those things. And so this was my first real interview. And I remember going in there quite nervous, but as far as I was concerned, I was getting this job. Just like however I was doing it, I was getting this job. And and if you've ever been into a car body shop, just consider what that's like for a young, vulnerable, nervous, but fire in her belly young woman. And I go into the office, and I can see the garage, and it's all like these places. I mean, to be fair, Autodex were renowned for they did have they did have, I wouldn't say an elegance, they had like a professionalism about them. So it wasn't like your backstreet garages. They did have an elegance about them, a professionalism about them. And so I remember walking in, I remember seeing through the glass like the garage and being like, oh my God, what am I doing? But I was focused, right? I was like this. There was nothing else. I knew what I was there for, and I was making it happen. And so I go in, and this guy, Jerry, I never forget. I mean, it makes me feel emotional. But Jerry, what a lovely guy. And he welcomes me in, and we sat down. I did this interview. Bear in mind, I'd never done an interview before. I did this interview, in this garage with this guy. It was an evening as well. I remember it being quite dark. And anyway, so we're chatting away, chatting away, chatting away. And, I remember him saying, like, you just don't have any experience, and he had a focus. He needed a receptionist. That's basically what the job was. And and at that point, I'd also been a face painter. So I thought I'm going to start my own little business. So I started face painting, got all my kit together, got my little brochures and my little posters. Poor my Stephanie was like my poster girl. The amount of the amount of faces that I painted on her, so I could have a little booklet with all the faces on for the children to pick. And I'd go to parties, or I'd go to pubs, or I'd go to events. I'd go to some fairs, and I'd be there, and I'd be face painting, and I'd be charging per child. So I had my own little business. Anyway, so I'm in this garage, and um, Jerry calls down Liam. And at this point, upstairs, they had the finance department upstairs, and Liam comes down. He's the financial director for the company. And so now I'm sat in this room, big desk. Jerry sat in front of me, and to the right, just stood with the garage behind him. Liam stood there. Both, like these two men. Oh my God, these two men were absolutely the most amazing men that I could have ever had around me. And anyway, they're chatting away, and Jerry says to Liam, oh God, he's such a wonderful guy. Jerry says to Liam, this is Jay, and she doesn't have any experience. She's got a little one, but she's a face painter. Like she set up her own little business as a face painter, but she's really, she really wants a job. And both of them were like, I'm in and are in. And of course, this is my account of it. Okay, this is a long time ago. This is like 26 years ago. Um, and in the end, they were like, we just don't think you've got the experience. And out of nowhere, I guarantee, like, I don't know where this came from, right? Out of nowhere, I said, well, I need the experience and you need somebody here. So I'll work a week for you free. And at the end of that week, you can tell me whether you want me to stay or go. Either way, I've worked a week free for you. So you've had what you've needed for a week, and I've got a week's worth of experience. And I just shut up. And I remember sitting there thinking, where did that come from? No idea where it came from. That was not pre planned at all. And they both looked at each other and they must have thought, who does she think she is? I don't really know what they thought. But they were like, yeah, let's do it. Let's go for it. I got the job. Um, well, I got the week and I worked a week free and I owned working that week free and I learned and I listened and I watched and I was like a sponge absorbing everything. And it was really tough because Steph was still very young and now I've gone into a full-time situation. So organization outside of it was crazy, but I made it work. Anyway, long story short, it worked out. I stayed. I had the most amazing time with that company and I was there for 7 years, 7, 8 years. And in the end, I'm so proud of this. In the end, I actually managed one of the body shops and really enjoyed managing one of the body shops. I ended up working in most of the sites: Slough, Uxbridge, Southall, Kensington. Um, oh, there was more. Yeah, it eludes me. But I had the most amazing time. It was a car body shop company. It was a motor industry. It was the automotive trade. I learned a huge amount on all different levels. It was very male dominated, which definitely switched on my masculine mind, um, which I now attribute to a lot of the logical thinking, a lot of the action taking, a lot of the signal that I can weave away from the noise. A lot of, yeah, I definitely sense and feel I'm very grateful for the masculine side of my mind that I had a long time working in, and hiring, firing, training, teaching, workshop floor to reception to business development to accounts to like it was amazing to clients. It was just amazing. It was a very special time of my life. Um, and Nick as well. Nick was amazing, and oh my god, there's so many of them were just so amazing. I learned so much. Even the one person that, if I'm honest, I was quite fearful of in the beginning, his presence, oh my God, used to send shivers up my spine. Um, None of the people I've mentioned here. But do you know what? Even he inspired me, and even he taught me things that I would never have learned anywhere else. And oh, just incredible. And yeah, I attribute a lot to that. And then I went on in another company, another automotive motor industry company for another 7 years, and absolutely loved that as well. Before I left the automotive motor industry and went into financial services. Um, but the reason I share this story, right, is I had something that was beyond me. It was bigger than me. It was more important than me. And that drove my belief. And it was really important then that when I got in the company that I showed who I was and I absorbed everything. I even did an estimating course, like predominantly men do the estimating of the cars. But I was just eager to learn. I was so eager to learn. Um, Mark Taylor was another guy. I like, honestly, the guys were absolutely incredible. Whether that was because I was a little bit feisty, but that was because of passion and need, and I had the desire to learn and understand and to grow and to show up every day at my best. Um, but it was the belief. 100% it was a belief. It was a belief in, I've got to make this work. And then I just kept going at all the different levels that I could possibly go to, and really, really, really enjoyed it. And it built such a drive in me, mainly because I had Steph to look after, but also um, because it was so male dominated. Like, whether I needed to or not, I felt that I did. I had to prove myself, but I had a belief that I could do it. I had a drive that it could, it can happen. And every time I got a pay review and every time I got to the next level, there was proof that I was growing and I was moving. Massive belief behind all of that. And then even when I had Harry, and I left the automotive industry and I ended up in financial services. Again, I had a drive. I had Harry. Like, I didn't want to repeat what I'd done with Steph. Steph is amazing. I did my best, but I wasn't there for her as much as I wanted to be. And so I went self-employed, and the belief there was I can make this happen. I went self-employed. I'd never been self-employed before. I'd never done the level of sales that was needed at this level. And I just got on it. I read, I trained, I learned, I listened, I focused, I watched, I modeled, and it just was a blast. Um, but it was the belief that was driving it. It was the pure belief in me that, come hell or high water, there is no way I cannot do this. I have to make this work. And it kept me driving. It's so important to have that self belief. And when that erodes or it's taken away or it depletes, it's about bringing it back up again. Um, Belief is such a powerful thing. Where is your belief in yourself? Away from the noise, away from any of the noise, away from you, away from that. What do you want in your life? What do you want on your journey? How do you want to show up every day? What do you want in your life every day? It's not easy. It really isn't easy. And this period of time that I'm going through in this last week or two has been horrendous for me. It's really slapped me around the face. And it's really made me consider that blank canvas, what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, where I'm going with it. And it's shaken me. But I have a purpose. I have a want. I have a desire. I have a passion. And I will make everything happen that I want to make happen, because I can't not. There is no notness. Like, I'm staying on my path and I'm going to focus in on my path. And somebody asked me today, you know what, Jay, if you could do anything, if you could just make up the rules and you could do anything, because that's where I am right now, what would you want to do? And she said to me, close your eyes and just consider what would you do? What what comes up? And it all just came kind of floating around me. It's and it, it's just powerful. And it comes from my ikigai, making sure that I do that and check in with that. And it comes with reflection that I've spoken about. It comes with reflecting on who I am and what I am and what I've done and what I know and what I've learned and what I have to share and what people want and what people need and what people will pay for. And it's all there. The next stage is packaging it up and making sure that it then aligns into action. And that action has steps that move towards a bigger picture. That's what I wanted to share tonight. When was the last time you reflected on your past, on your experience, on where you started and how far you've come, and some of the journeys you've done, and maybe the amazing things that you've done? Because we often forget those things. And all of those things are stacked up inside of us. They're all in us. No matter what's in the bank, no matter what we've got as assets, no matter who's around us, all of that is still inside of you. All of that power, all of that goodness is still inside of you. And when you wake up that belief, when you wake up who you really are, honestly, fireworks, beautiful fireworks happen. And there's a couple of women around me at the moment that I've been having some discussions with, and helping reframe things and look at things. And as soon as they switch, as soon as that belief switches, as soon as they change and shift, turn the volume up a bit, shift to the next level, honestly, the messages I then get, this is happening and this is happening and that happened. And this has come in, and that's like, it's so powerful. And it comes rooted in the belief that you can do anything you want to do. You can do it, whatever it is, but you need to believe it, and you need to take action on it, and you need to call in the help to help you do it. And you need to keep believing and getting up every day and believing that you can do it. I believe in you. Whatever it is, wherever you are, whoever you are, this table attracts those that want to do things a little bit different or a big bit different. So everyone at this table will always welcome you. Whether you're watching this in years to come, whether you've just tuned in, whether you've stayed with me from the beginning, wherever, whatever the journey, I appreciate you. And I hope that some of my share tonight has been insightful, has given you inspiration. It's definitely woken me up a bit, in the sense of feeling quite flat. But if you, and this is the power of language and voice and words and what I call kind of just unraveling what's in the mind, unraveling the noise and pulling it out. If you go back to the beginning of this video, I guarantee you now, you would see a difference in my being, because I've come alive, I've awoken, I've recalled memories, I've gone into my heart, I've felt the emotions, I've recalled people, I've reminded myself who the fuck I am, just in this little share, just in this little conversation here of sharing at the table. It changes everything. It changes your skin, it changes your energy, it changes your blood flow, it changes everything. How powerful is that with just a little reflection? Imagine every day that you create a space where you just reflect on the past and the power of the past and what's got you through and who you are today. And imagine with all of that inside of you, with all of that goodness, what you can now do, what you can create. You've just got to believe. And if you don't believe, you need to get around people that believe in you. And I'm telling you now, very quickly, it rubs off. And it is such a beautiful blessing when it rubs off. And then you help them and remind them who they are. And they believe. And all of a sudden, everyone lifts together. So powerful. And a note to the others, those that strip you of your belief, those that are Debbie Downers, those that are radiator suckers, those that mood hoovers, the alien spawns, just manage your time around them. Just create a bit of a boundary when you're around them, because you might say that you can't get rid of them, and that's okay. But those that are around you that drain the life out of you, just make sure you put some boundaries in place. Just make sure you don't absorb their toxicity, because they don't mean it. They're not doing it on purpose. Trust me. There'll be other things, there'll be other reasons that I'm sure we'll cover in another evening. But for now, thank you for joining me at the table. I will see you tomorrow night at 7, and I look forward to seeing you at the table with your seat. And what is your chair actually? Did you watch last night's and consider what your chair looks like, what it feels like, what it sounds like, why you've got it? Maybe go and have a look and find out why I'm talking about the chair. Anyway, for now, take care. Have a wonderful evening, and remember, you're always welcome.